Get strapped in. It's just about time to get the party started. And we are underway from Miami. And he'll give it up past the 20 to about the 22.
Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Cougar Knights, go!
They'll run. Here's Jlamar. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at 2nd down.
Let's go now. Bronco 80. Ready.
Throwing is Milton. Now he'll tuck this and run. Pass complete. George Pickens with it. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a 1st down.
One down, only about 500 more to go this season. He would certainly welcome most of his passes this year going as well as that. Now that the first one is over, time to settle into a groove and begin a long journey towards Week 18 and hopefully the playoffs.
That's complete. It's Travis Kelce. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
1st down. 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Panther 60, Panther 60. 65 catch.
Here's Milton now to throw. He'll dump this off to Achane. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down.
Get it. Ready.
Out of the gun, here's a give to Achane. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
60 Eagles, 60 Eagles. Ready.
Milton. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. And he finds his target. It's Schultz. Yet another completion here on this opening drive, and he's now perfect 4 of 4 to start. Pretty solid execution here.
And how about how everyone's handled their nerves? Because you know what it's like to start a ball game. You're so amped up and ready to go, and sometimes the execution isn't there. They've been flawless so far. Well drilled, well prepared, and excited to start this game.
And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. 1st and goal, a good chance for our first touchdown of the new season.
1st and goal.
They'll run, Achane. And he stopped immediately there. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's a loss of 1. Brings up 2nd and goal.
Nothing, 60 Bison, 60 Bison. Ready, right?
Here's Milton. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. Maybe the first big test of the season here on both sides. This is 3rd and goal. To throw, it's Milton. He'll try and do this himself. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. George Pickens, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Dolphins are on the board here first in the season opener. Quite the drive there to get things started. They took up the bulk of the first quarter, and they end up in the end zone.
And I love your last point. Ended up in the end zone. Because a lot of teams like those long drives, especially to keep their offense off the field, right? Keep the ball away from them. But they finished it with a touchdown. That's the exclamation point. Now, flip it over defensively. They've got to slow that down somehow, right? Maybe they need to be a little more aggressive. Maybe a few more pressures towards the quarterback.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. First carry for the Iowa State man, Breece Hall. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
Hall again on 2nd down. And not much room to speak of. We'll get about 3 up to the 41.
Gain of 4 brings up 3rd and 4.
Take right open. On the red. Inside.
From the gun on 3rd down, Lawrence. This pass out wide to Hall. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Hall again on 2nd down. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Looking to throw, Lawrence. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And touchdown! Adonai Mitchell, 45 yards. And the Jets are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. Now the try here for the point after. And he starts his new year off on the right foot as well, as this kick is good. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And Charles, these early season in-division games are always interesting because you're still kind of figuring yourself out, but you want to know as much as you can about the opponent, especially when it's a division matchup. So I'm curious to see how the rest of this one plays out.
Yeah, that's a good point because they're still trying to work things out. They don't know everything about their own team, let alone trying to figure out their opponent. But you've got to do both on the fly, don't you? While the game's being played, figure it out both ways and try and find a way to win.
And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
One thing you always worry about when he breaks the pocket is he going to take off with it? That time, the pressure was starting to close in, and he's just got to throw this one away.
A run straight ahead with Achane. And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35. 42 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
Partner, there are strong running plays, and then there are plays where you simply outclass the defense, and we saw the latter there. They ran straight up the heart of that front for an excellent gain and first down. Simply put, you've got to put up more of a fight defending the middle. Otherwise, this is going to be a long game.
19. Bronco leading. Gravity Lions. Ready.
To throw is Milton. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. Myles Garrett in there for sack number 127 in his great career, moving it past Kansas City Hall of Famer Derek Thomas on the all-time list. Up the middle, Achane. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. 3rd and long coming up. Now Milton. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Jets force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. And that's a ball that he is going to want to keep, his first career interception in the National Football League.
And I love what teams do when that happens. You bring the ball to the sideline, the equipment guy grabs it, he puts a piece of tape on it, writes on it so that you know what it is, and then they tuck it away so that you can have it for later and put it on your mantle. Pretty good deal for him right there. Now he's eager to get back out on the field and get his second one.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Now Lawrence. Running this slant, and he finds Mitchell. Now he's loose down the left sideline. And he's finally down at the 21-yard line. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Lawrence. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done. Down to the 15 from the 21. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
2nd down and 4.
Hey, Lion.
Paul want to give up the middle. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3.
Well, when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, 1st round went to the offense, 2nd round the defense. Here's 3rd and 3.
Right, let's go. Son. Here we go, son.
Here's Lawrence. Got a man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jets. Kevontae Turpin, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Jets will take the lead here here in the final minute of the first half. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32.
At their own 32-yard line.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And with just under a minute to go, they might try to think about mounting a drive here if they can and get in the end zone to potentially tie this game up. Here's a 2nd and 8. Not liking the look. They'll change the play.
Brings up 2nd and 8 at the 34-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 8. And his throw here is incomplete.
I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
79 Broncos. Ready.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Hard throw, incomplete.
I think he could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
On 4th down, Corliss Waitman on to punt. Deep to return is Kevontae Turpin. Now this is going to work out well as it's out of bounds near the 13-yard line.
At their own 13-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And with a 14-7 lead, they might just be happy to take this thing on into the tunnel. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
I thought at first he'd try to run, but he just kept buying time to his right. Finally, nothing there. He wisely gets rid of it.
Now it's 2nd and 10. Now Lawrence to throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
And they're not going to go quietly into this halftime break. They know they're in for a fight, so they're trying to make every possession count. They took the big shot there, but it winds up incomplete.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Now Lawrence. He's going to try and go deep again. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And this returnable for Hill. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And that one not returnable, not by a long stretch, over the back line of the end zone, so that's going to be spotted up at the 35-yard line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Hey, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
Ball again on second down. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Hasn't had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
They'll go again with Hall. And tough sledding. They'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Ball on the 36 now. Here's second and 9. And now they'll throw it with Lawrence. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. That time, Bradley Chubb shooting in there for the sack.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Facing some long odds here if they hope to convert, as they're well behind the original line of scrimmage.
Hey, change attack. Go, let's go.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Got a man that's caught at the 6-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
Well, that was a pretty good time for his first catch of the ball game, and it turned into a huge play as well. He's certainly not been a central part of this passing game so far in this one, but he made his presence felt there. A big pickup on third down.
And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard that time, second and goal.
All of a sudden, those lanes that were there earlier in the drive dry up near the goal line. That's a good job defensively to diagnose the run and stop it for a very short pickup.
Ball again. And this time he's in for a Jets touchdown. Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give him a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
The extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 21-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he returns this to the 22.
The Dolphins take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They make their second half debut here, and things are looking a little bit tougher now. You give up the points there, Charles, that touchdown drive on the other side, so now it's a two-score game here. Got to be careful.
They certainly do. I'm just wondering at halftime if those guys just looked into each other's eyes and realize what they've got to get done and come out a little bit more charged up, because if they don't get some kind of points here, that next drive, that can make this a free-possession game.
70 Lions. 60 Eagles. 60 Eagles.
Right back to Achane on second down. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. 1 yard and now no yards. Have him looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
18, Pioneer. Panther 60, Panther 60.
From the gun on third down, Milton. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Looks like another empty possession offensively. And you're at that point in the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
The Waitman now to punt as he sends this one away. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds.
At their own 26-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
They run. It's Mitchell. Oh, that's just not fair, and now room to run. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Now he's going to step up and run. And the pressure gets to Lawrence, and he'll go down. It's a loss of a yard, so they'll wind up crediting him with a sack, and it brings up 3rd down.
And 6.
We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Jets on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. From the gun, it's Lawrence. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. Here's the Jets punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. He gets this away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
Now they'll shift things around. Off play action. Milton. Now a run here off the RPO, and he'll keep it. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
65, Cat, 65. 60 Bison, 60 Bison.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage.
And the Dolphins, first down.
Looking to throw. Milton. He's got this to Pickens. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35.
It's a gain of 30.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 34.
1st and 10 at the 34.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13.
37-yard line.
Operating from the gun, Milton. To the right side and intercepted. And running with power here. And the Jets are going to take over here up near the 40.
Say you're the poet and the prophet, but you never saw me coming. Always starving for attention, and I got the kind you wanted, and it's killing you now. You wanna spin it around, but the truth's still the truth. Nothing you can do. I feel it in my bones. Won't bring me down, no, not even close. Go ahead and throw your stones, but you can't stop this. You can't stop this. Hey, 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 you can't stop this. Hey, 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 you can't stop this. I had a dream, and now I live it. Ain't it a gift to know it's God-given? I'm not gonna waste it. Stop wasting your breath. Stop speaking in whispers. Say that with your chest. I feel it in my bones. Won't bring me down, no, not even close. Go ahead and throw your stones, but you can't stop this. You can't stop this. Hey, hey, hey.